welcome back everyone. I hope you had a wonderful winter break and you were able to relax and rejuvenate. Before winter break, we had just started our work with polynomials. We did classifying, adding, subtracting, and multiplying. And a lot of you had the question, well, are we going to divide? And as you can see from our title, yes. The lesson that we're doing this week is polynomial long division. So we're going to be dividing polynomials using long division. So the first concept that we need to talk about is, do you remember what long division is? So we're going to practice and go through the steps of long division. So we're going to divide 76 divided by 3. But to set this up, it's going to look like this. So we want to divide 76 by 3. So step number 1 is to divide our first number by what we're dividing by. So what is 7 divided by 3? We can get a 2. So that's the first thing we do, is divide. Then the second step is multiply. We're going to multiply 2 by 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. Next, we subtract. We're always going to subtract. So 7 minus 6 is 1. And then after we subtract, we bring down. We're going to bring down this 6. And now we have 16. After we bring down, if we still have big numbers, we now go through and repeat the process. We go all the way back to the top, and now we're going to divide. So 16 divided by 3, we get 5. So then we multiply. 5 times 3 is 15. Then we subtract. 16 minus 15 is 1. And this is what we would call our remainder. So once we can no longer repeat the process, we identify, do we have a remainder left over? Now the big thing is, remainders are written as fractions. So this is not going to be 25R1. It's going to be 25 plus 1/3. Now where did the 3 come from? That is what we are dividing by. So what you're dividing by is always going to be in the bottom of your fraction. So that is our refresher on long division. The next thing that we need to talk about is dividing exponents and what happens there. So the concept of dividing exponents. When we divide exponents, we subtract the exponents. So here we have x to the 4th divided by x squared. It's going to be x to the 4th minus 2. So it's going to be x squared. X to the 5th divided by x. X to the 5th minus 1. So it's going to be x to the 4th. So that is how we take care of when we're dividing exponents. So now that we've talked long division and we've talked about dividing exponents, now we're going to talk polynomial long division. So to divide a polynomial by a binomial, we use the same process of long division that we use with integers. So that divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat process that we just did with integers, we're going to do with polynomials. So first we need to set it up with our division bar. So remember, the second thing what we're dividing by, that goes on the outside, so x plus 10. Then we have our division bar, and then this whole big polynomial goes underneath. X cubed plus 8x squared minus 12x plus 70. So the key thing here is, when we actually do our division, we are always going to be focusing on the leading terms of the binomial and the polynomial. So when we do our dividing, that's what we're going to be focusing on. So the first step that we do is divide leading terms. So what we're going to do is we're going to take x cubed and just divide it by the x. And this is going to be x squared. We're going to put this x squared above the x squared just to keep our terms lined up. So that's the first thing you do, divide leading terms. So x cubed divided by x. Bam, it goes into the top. Step number 2 is multiply by the binomial. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this x squared and multiply it by x plus 10. So we're going to multiply x squared times x plus 10. So we're going to get, and again we keep it lined up, x cubed plus 10x squared. You know you've done the multiplying right if the first items are exactly the same. Then, step number 3, we subtract. You always subtract, and I highly recommend actually putting a physical subtraction sign. So, x cubed minus x cubed cancels. That's what you're looking for first terms to cancel. And then 8x squared minus 10x squared is negative 2x squared. Then we have step 4. Bring down. We're going to bring down our next term. So minus 12x. And then finally, we repeat. We're going to go back to step 1, and you keep repeating until you no longer have a variable. So now, our new leading term is negative 2x squared. So now, we have negative 2x squared divided by x. And that's going to be negative 2x. So now that answer is going to go up into the top. And now we ignore the x squared. Now we just multiply x plus 10 by negative 2x. So negative 2x times x plus 10. Just think of this guy that you get here after you divide is always going to get multiplied by your binomial. Same thing here, x squared, we multiply it by the binomial. So negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared, and negative 2x times 10 is negative 20x. Then we subtract. Our negative 2x squareds cancel out, and then negative 12x minus negative 20x, we get 8x, and then we bring down the 70. Now, we repeat again. We haven't run out of variables, so we just keep going and going until we run out of variables. So our new leading term now is 8x. So I'm going to bring back my little slip of paper. So now we're going to divide 8x by x. And that gives us 8. So that's going to go right up top. And then we multiply that by x plus 10. 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 10 is 80. And once again, we subtract. 8x minus 8x is 0. 70 minus 80 is negative 10. And as you can see, there's no variable left here. So when you are out of variables, this remaining integer is our remainder. So we have now finished. Now it's just time to write our answer in the correct standard form. So our answer is going to be this polynomial in the top above the bar. So x squared minus 2x plus 8. And now for our remainder, we need to write it as a fraction. So it's going to be minus 10 over whatever our binomial is, x plus 10. And there you go. That is polynomial long division. Now, before you panic, there are still more examples we're going to do. So sit tight. More examples coming your way.